terms interchangeably. Something's expensive, something's costly. That's that's not at all true. So rhinestone lip gloss, what we do here and the level in which we do it, it isn't expensive, but it is costly. So I'm going to explain a little bit about what I mean about that. So could we do this cheaper? Absolutely. Will we? Never, ever, ever, ever will we. So when it comes to the conversation of expensive versus costly, expensive just means it has a high price tag, right? You can make anything expensive. In fact, there's an experiment. It's called, I think it's the Estee Lauder experiment. So I'm not positive on the brand, but conceptually, this is what happened. So they took a wonderfully smelling perfume, say Estee Lauder, and they put it in Dollar Tree, Dollar General, some uh, kind of savings type store, and say the price was $10. Nobody bought it. No, no, nobody bought it, right? They take that same perfume, make it $500, put it in Macy's, sells out. That's expensive. That's just changing the price tag, right? That's not what happens here. Rhinestone lip gloss is costly because we use the very best crystals available for purchase on the planet, period. They're made in Austria or the Czech Republic, depending on what I need. There are not better quality crystals created anywhere on planet Earth. End of story. Those are not cheap. But they're not cheap because they're not cheap. They're not cheap because they're not going to scratch. They're not cheap because the foil failure rate is a fraction compared to what it is when you buy rhinestones, which are not the same as crystals, off of Amazon or off of someplace in China or wholesale rhinestone or anything like that. When I talk about foil failure, what I mean is um, usually happens with garments. You buy a, say, like a show shirt or a rodeo queen garment or something like that, and there's a bunch of little silver dots on it. Means the adhesive held, but the foil has failed. The foil has become separate from the crystal or rhinestone itself. Um, so the percentage of that with our quality of crystal is significantly lower, which means you're getting a better quality piece. They're a heck of a lot more durable, first of all, and you've got an enormous amount of longevity for that. You know, you think of brands like Double D, and you'll pay just as much for a piece that's 40 years old from them as you will for a new one because the quality is there, because the integrity of that brand has held up over the years. That's the game we're playing. I'm playing a long game. If I was in this for the money, I'd have stayed at my corporate job. And anybody that's followed this brand for any amount of time has heard me say that a lot, and I mean it. I do this, my team does this because every single person in this building absolutely loves what we do and we love why we do it. And there are different people wired differently on this planet with different currencies, right? So some people chase money, some people chase um, giving, right? Like you have a really giving heart. They love the volunteering and the donating of their time and all of that. So kind of a giving currency, a loving currency. Some people, their entire goal in life is just to feel fulfilled, right? Not necessarily a big house, but just to wake up and not hate your Mondays. And everybody here is wired very much like that, right? We do this because we love it. We do it because we're obsessed with the art of it, the creation of it, the intention of it, the attention to detail of it. I'm not building fast fashion. I'm not building disposable jewelry. I'm building pieces your daughters are going to fight about in the will. I'm building pieces for your wedding that your daughter's going to wear at her wedding because her mom wore them. I'm building pieces that your daughter's going to rodeo queen in, Haley Kelso, because you did and the dang things held up because they are costly to build, right? They're not expensive. It's not the perfume we're jacking the price on. There are no better quality crystals on a planet, period, that enter this building. It's why I won't match stuff from China. It's not me being snotty. It's not an attitude thing. They don't meet our standards. And I have too much respect for my clients to just slap some plastic rhinestone that I bought from YKB or wherever the crap from overseas comes from. I'm not doing it. That same level of attention and intention goes for every single piece of the recipe. Our bases are made 20 minutes from here. The material that they're made out of is sourced from Ohio. The adhesives that we use are built directly for us. There is no E6000 nonsense here, won't have it. But the chemistry that goes into making sure the right adhesive is used for the right material has been one of the most fun adventures, sometimes frustrating, that we've been on. We get to do all kinds. We lit earrings on fire the other day just to see what would happen. Don't do that. But we run stuff through dishwashers. We run stuff through washing machines. We run things over with vehicles. I need to see what I can get away with. We power wash things. The adhesive matters, because if you use the wrong one, everything's compromised. What we use on fabric isn't what we use on vehicle logos, which isn't what we use on earrings, which isn't what we use on hats, which is not what we use on leather or boots or a myriad of other things, right? The adhesive I stoned Jesse Lynn's microphone and mic stand with had to have UV protection in it because of the lights on stage. This is deep. Like, when I tell you I'm obsessed with what we do here, I'm not joking. It's not, some arts and crafts room that we have here. We just come in and slap some rhinestones on stuff and go home and call it a day. It is constant. The growth is constant. The research is constant. The obsession is constant. And the minute it stops becoming that, I'm going to shut the whole thing down. Our pieces are costly because I have ladies who, born and raised right here in Ohio, come every day and spend hours meticulously prepping. And that's the other thing. Like, if we just popped in here and smacked rhinestones on random metal shapes, we'd be a heck of a lot faster, right? But again, it's the quality. If that's what your designer is doing, find a new one. Find one that has more respect for what we do. Find one that has more respect for their customers and their money. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I'm pretty sure I work awful hard for my money, and I don't want to spend it on something that's just tossed together, right? So here at RL, the prep work on pieces honestly takes just as long, sometimes longer actually, than the stoning itself, right? Because if you don't prepare what you're crystallizing, it's not going to hold up, period. It's either the adhesive's going to fail, it's going to rust, it's going to disintegrate, it's going to look terrible, it's going to oxidize wrong. If the humidity isn't right when we're stoning, what we're stoning, all of that matters. And we know that it matters because we've figured out along the way in the early years, hey, this isn't holding up the way we want to. Hey, this doesn't look as good as it did. What are we doing wrong? What's happening differently, right? So there's a method to that. And if it was just a matter of trying to turn a profit, we would probably just wholesale stuff, quadruple the price, and be on vacation most of the time. But anybody that's worked with us knows that's absolutely not the case. And we ask 500 questions. Yesterday, and this is not uncommon, I drove 3 hours round trip for an 8-minute meeting because I needed to know exactly what color of crystal and what brand of crystal matched a fabric. I already had the stone colors. I had that. But the client wanted the fabric color incorporated, which is super fine. No big deal. Time-wise, it didn't allow for them to mail it to us. And I'm like, you know what? I can make this work. So I drove an hour and a half each direction, walked in a barn, spent 8 minutes matching crystal to the fabric, and drove back to the office. And that's a typical thing. Like, that's not uncommon. I drove earrings to Nova Scotia last year. That was 27 hours. That's what that's the level that we're doing this at, right? So are our earrings expensive? No. Are they costly? Yeah, because we're doing it right. We're doing it correctly. We're doing it with intention. We're doing it with attention, right? And that takes time. And you can't build a quality product without quality ingredients, right? It's just like food, it's like a recipe. If you're using junk ingredients, your cupcakes are going to taste like trash. If you're using junk rhinestones, plastic gems, the plastic dot things from the diamond dot kits you get at Hobby Lobby as embellishments, no, stop that. Stop that. It's and I understand we're not for everybody, and I don't want to be for everybody. I want to build for the women who want to wear us, who understand what we do, who understand what we stand for, who understand that we don't settle, who understand that these aren't just earrings, they're proof that you can make a living doing whatever sets your soul on fire. And if you think that's not true, please come have coffee with me. I will buy and I will walk you through physically an 18,000 square foot building that will prove you wrong. This isn't a hobby. This isn't arts and crafts time. This isn't just a quick, oh, let's just bedazzle this. That's not what this is here. It is 10 plus years of trial and error and research and growth and what can we do better? What can we do different? What if we did this? What if we did that? Is this new crystal brand as quality as it says it is? Is 17 facets better than 16? And shockingly, the answer is no, because it looks weird. Table's too big. You can have a 16 facet crystal, 16 facet rhinestone, but if those 16 facets are cut into junk, it's not going to matter. And another reason that, while we're on the subject, that I won't match economy rhinestones, number one, they don't meet our standards. I have more respect for my clients than that. When you come to us, you're getting the absolute best of every single aspect of what we do, period. You're getting the best adhesive, you're getting the best shape for your garment and for like whatever. So if you're showing in these, we will ask you, what discipline are you showing, what breed, what level, etc. Or is this for a pageant? Is it for interview? Is it for speech and modeling? Whatever that is. You're getting the very best design for your event. You're getting the very best crystal. You're getting the very best customer service. You're getting the very best humans who literally get up, come here, and I'm here to tell you they're not here for the money, and do this because they love it and because they want to. So I'm not going to match economy rhinestones because that doesn't fall into our recipe of excellence. I understand perfection isn't possible, but that's not going to keep us from trying. I can tell you that. The main reason I will not match economy rhinestones is it is offensive to the girl wearing them, because when you put quality crystal next to, right, so we've got earrings and we're matching, Amazon or China rhinestones. Again, crystal and rhinestones are not the same thing, and we can talk about that either now or a different time, depending on what my intern tells me I have to do. When you place quality crystal next to economy crystal, the gap is glaringly obvious. And what we don't want to do is make a girl feel uncomfortable because our crystal quality has now amplified the lack of quality because somebody was trying to save money or charge quality prices for not quality material. That's where it gets expensive. It gets expensive when you're paying for something you're not getting. It gets expensive when people are just price gouging. The price of these earrings, and I hear this every year from my accountant, is not realistic. That's why we don't have any sales. There's not enough meat on the bone. I will also never, ever, ever risk offending somebody. I have young girls and single moms and moms working 2 jobs so their daughters can queen or rodeo or do the pageant or show horses. And the minute that I say, oh, these are 25% off, I have just absolutely robbed that lady of all of her, I don't want to say hard work, but intentional saving, right? She she did that intentionally to have one of our pieces, and I won't cheapen it. A majority of my demographic comes from really hardworking families. And if we charged what we were supposed to charge for the level in which we create here, the prices would be at least double, at least. And every year my accountant's like, you gotta fix it. I won't do it. I'm not going to double the prices. I, I, I'm not going to. I'm not going to outprice the demographic that built me. Period. I won't. So when you get into the discussion of, or if you hear, and this goes for any brand really, that is legitimately, doing their best, not just adding a zero to a price tag, right? Rhinestone lip gloss isn't expensive. In fact, it's quite inexpensive for the quality that you're receiving. And let's also talk about the fact that if you break a post off of a Tiffany earring, you can't call them and say, hey, can you fix this? No, no, that's on you. Or if you lose one of your Tiffany diamond earrings, you can't call them and say, hey, can I buy just one? They're gonna they're gonna laugh at you. But you can with us because we make them. So I don't have to split a pair, right? I can make you a single. And you can call us and we'll fix any crystal you lose, any earring back you break off for any reason, I don't care why, for free. This is not a fast fashion brand. This is not a hobby. This is not a casual thing. This brand we are building is a brand of longevity, is a brand of intention, is a brand of quality. I won't compromise on any of that. Are we expensive? No, certainly not. Are we costly? Yeah. And I'm not mad about that. I'm not sorry about it. I'm not going to waver from it. I'm not going to compromise on it. Ever. I've judged a lot of pageants, state, national level, a lot of rodeo queen pageants, a lot of pageants, a lot of casual pageants. And I'm here to tell you lighting doesn't lie. Lighting on stage doesn't lie. If your garment designer has used quality crystal, I promise you can tell. The opposite is also true. If they have just covered your garment, because quality and quantity are not the same thing, right? So if they have just covered your garment in a bunch of rhinestones that are going to scratch, they're going to get dull, that the foil's going to fail, and now you've got a bunch of silver spots on you, you paid all this money, and it doesn't hold up. The facet cut matters. The quality of what the facets are cut into matters. And I'm here to tell you, you can absolutely tell a difference on stage, whether it's earrings, whether it's a garment, whether it's a hat, pair of boots, whatever it is. The lighting doesn't lie. The quality matters, and you get what you pay for. And if you don't know what you're paying for, ask. Hey, what brand of crystal are you going to use? Hey, maybe instead of, I tell you what, instead of a bunch of, cheap rhinestones, can we, you know, can we use Preziosa? Can we use Swarovski? There's still Swarovski that still exists. We have over 1,000 jars of it here still. You can determine what quality material, you're the one paying the designer, right? So you get to make that decision. Except for with us, we don't compromise. You don't ever have to worry about us doing that. Our crystal is the best crystal, period. End of story. because we've made it a point to only source the best, only tolerate the best, only test the best, only make, I mean, we had earrings just for fun. Not earrings, I'm sorry, crystals sitting in acetone for 2 days just to see what would happen, just to make sure nothing would. And it didn't, which was kind of cool. I didn't know what would happen, and I don't know that I wanted something to happen, but I was like, oh, they're still cool. All right, good deal. Um, but that's the thing. We're always testing, always growing, always experimenting, always trying to level up for our girls. And these pieces, when we created our own cleaner that takes off hairspray and makeup and arena dirt and life and just yuck. You bought them because they are brilliantly shiny. Please keep them that way. And I say that because we don't spend money on advertising, and you'll hear me say that a lot too. We rely on our girls to wear our pieces. So if you're wearing your rhinestone lip gloss earrings and they need cleaning, which they need cleaned ideally after every event, just real quick, spray it. And we have an amazing, super dense, soft brush that we sell as well. Gets in all the nooks and crannies and all of that. So when you're wearing one of our pieces, and maybe they haven't been taken care of the best, right? Maybe they're not quite as shiny. You've worn them a few times. They've got oil residue from your fingers on them, or hairspray, or whatever that is. And somebody who's never heard of our brand sees those, and they're not as shiny as the day you bought them. I don't want that for you, right? You bought them, you invested in this brand because of how blingy our pieces are, because of the quality of it. I want you to always have that level in your ear, right? Or on your, if we're stoning like a garment, which we do custom stonework as well. So you're welcome to have somebody design a garment, send it to us. We'll do the crystal work. All of that stonework is guaranteed as well. So if you ever lose this stone, I don't know if it's in the frame, but there's a dress here to my left. It came in blank, and we added over 3,600 rhinestones, crystals, to it. And it's incredible. You don't have to add that many, but if this girl ever, it's on display here for us, but if this girl ever loses a crystal, we fix them for free, just like our earrings. It matters. The quality matters. If you're looking for quick, cheap earrings, please just go to Amazon, because that's not what we do, and it's not what we want for our girls. If your designer isn't willing to listen to you, I would encourage you to find a new one, because at the end of the day, you're footing the bill. And same thing with us, right? We will guide you through all of the things. We will give you all of the information, all of the insight, all of our expertise. At the end of the day, we're going to build what you want. And if you say, nope, I want this earring, for you got it. And we are thrilled to do that, because you're the boss, right? The only thing I won't compromise on is quality of crystal. Not doing that here. We've got way too much respect for our clients, how hard they work, their money. That's why we don't have sales. Like I said, it's why the presentation of our pieces matters, our packaging, all of that. And like I was saying, if you have your rhinestone lip gloss earrings in, and maybe they haven't been cleaned in a couple of events, and somebody sees them and they're not their shiniest, that person's going to be like, why did you buy those? They're not very shiny. Well, they're not shiny because they've got hairspray on them. So we want you to take care of your pieces, not only for new potential eyeballs, but you bought them because they were shiny, and you bought them because of the bling factor, if you will. And we've created everything that you need to keep them that way for another 10 years, right? We have invested so much into every aspect, every facet of this product, of this process, of this brand that we can think of. The cleaner, the particular brush that we found, that it's so much better than a toothbrush. Um, it's amazing, and you have to feel it. Like it's cool. Um, but the cleaner, the brushes, the packaging, our warranties, our crystal quality, the ladies that interact, like our customer service gals, our storefront, our Airbnbs, our main RL Airbnb. There's 5, but there's one. It's a big 2-bedroom that most of our RL girls stay in. The handles in the bathroom and the on like the cabinets and the drawers, and the handles on the kitchen cabinets and the kitchen drawers are all crystallized. Like everything about this brand has been designed with attention and intention for the very best experience across the board. So again, are we expensive? No. Not nearly like you think we should be. Are we costly? Yeah. But I'm here to tell you it's worth every single penny, and I won't cave on it. The quality of our product, the quality of our materials, the quality of the people that bring this brand to life, there is not better. There is not better. And I will die on that hill. So I just wanted to take a minute and kind of put that into perspective, because again, I think those words are kind of used interchangeably. That's really expensive. Is it though? Is it? And ask those questions. Ask about adhesive, ask about material, ask about crystal quality, brand. Where did these come from? Where are these made? Any of that, right? Make sure your fabric isn't coming from Shein because of the chemicals that are on it, right? Not to get, conspiracy theorist on you, but that matters, right? You're putting that on your child. Let's not do that. All of that. Our adhesive is non-toxic. I'm not telling you should put it in your mouth, but you can. All of that matters. So when you're choosing a brand to work with or a brand to invest in, I don't care if it's a saddle, I don't care if it's a horse dentist, whatever that is, ask the questions. I don't want to say do the research because that's not your job. That's my job, right? But it's also my job to convey that to you when you ask. So especially in this day and age, we're all kind of watching all the dollars. So if you're looking to invest in a piece that will be around long enough for your daughter to wear, welcome home. If you're looking for just a quick accessory, I'm probably not the best fit for you. Again, Judge Lodge Pageants, lighting doesn't lie. You get what you pay for, and details matter. Period. Matter more to some people than others, but there is nothing more important here than the detail and the quality and the intention of every single piece that leaves this studio being as perfect as humanly possible for the entire duration of its life. So when you call me 5 years down the road and you need a stone fixed or you need a post fixed or whatever it is, it's taken care of because we are costly. We are not expensive. So thank you for coming to my TED Talk.